Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Anna's English channel. I am so happy to have you here with us today. I'm your friend Anna, and today we are talking about something that happens in every single home around the world. It doesn't matter if you live in a big house or a small apartment. You have to deal with chores. Specifically, the one chore that seems to never end, the dishes. Joining me to discuss our messy kitchens is my co-host, Leo. Hi, Leo.
Hi, Anna, and hello to all our listeners. You caught me at the perfect time. I actually have a small mountain of plates in my sink right now. I was running late this morning, so I thought I'll do them later. But later always feels so far away.
It's true. The dishes monster grows very fast. For our listeners, the word chores means those small, boring, but necessary jobs we do to keep our homes clean. Vacuuming, dusting, laundry, and of course, washing the dishes. Leo, when you were a child, did you have a specific chore that you hated the most?
Oh, definitely the dishes. My hands would get all wrinkly from the water, and I hated the feeling of old food on the plates. My sister and I used to argue every night about whose turn it was. We even had a rock, paper, scissors competition to decide.
We did the same thing. In my house, my mom had a very strict rule. She said, if I cook the meal, you children must clean the table. It felt fair at the time, but now that I live alone, I realize how much work she actually did. Today, we want to talk about how to divide these tasks fairly, and maybe even how to make them a little bit more fun.
Is it possible to make washing a greasy pan fun, Anna? I'm skeptical, but I'm ready to learn.
Well, Leo, I think it's all about our mindset. If we think of chores as a burden, something heavy and bad, then we will always be unhappy. But if we think of chores as a way to show respect for our living space and the people we live with, it changes everything.
Respect for the space. I like that. When my apartment is messy, I feel like my brain is messy too. I can't focus on my work. But when the floor is clean and the bed is made, I feel like I can think clearly. So cleaning isn't just for the house, it's for my mental health.
Exactly. It's about mental clarity. Also, chores are a great way to build teamwork. For our listeners who live with a partner, a roommate, or their parents, sharing the work is the best way to avoid resentment. Resentment is that cold, angry feeling you get when you think you are doing more work than everyone else.
Oh, I know that feeling. You're washing the floor and you see your roommate sitting on the sofa watching TV. You start hitting the floor harder with the mop just so they can hear how hard you are working.
Yes, the angry cleaning. We want to avoid that. Communication is the key. For example, I love cooking, but I really dislike taking out the trash. My roommate loves being outside, so he doesn't mind the trash, but he hates the smell of onions. So we made a deal. I cook and handle the food, and he handles the trash and the recycling.
That's a perfect trade-off. You find what you like, or what you dislike the least, and you build a system around it. It makes the home a much more peaceful place.
You know, Leo, things have changed a lot since our grandparents' time. In the past, there were very strict gender roles. People used to think some chores were only for women and some were only for men. But today, those walls are falling down.
And thank goodness for that. My grandfather never even knew where the vacuum cleaner was kept. But my father is different. He actually finds ironing his shirts very relaxing. He puts on some jazz music and just irons for an hour. He says it's his meditation time.
I love that. Ironing as meditation. I think it's important for everyone to know how to do everything. Every adult should know how to sew a button, how to cook a basic meal, and how to scrub a toilet. It's about independence.
Independence. If you can't take care of your own space, are you really an adult? I remember when I first moved out for university, I didn't know how to use a washing machine. I put a red shirt in with all my white socks. Everything turned bright pink.
Oh no, Leo. The classic laundry disaster. Did you wear the pink socks?
I had to. I didn't have any money to buy new ones. But that mistake taught me to read the labels on my clothes. Now, I'm a pro at laundry. I even know what delicate cycle means.
See, every chore is a skill. And for our listeners, learning the English words for these tasks like rinse, scrub, fold, and sort is a great way to connect your language learning to your real life. Let's get back to the big one, the kitchen. The dishes are the chore that happens 3 times a day, every single day. How do we survive the dishes, Leo?
My number one rule is clean as you go. If I am making pasta, I wash the pot while the pasta is boiling. I don't wait until the end of the meal to see a giant pile. If you wash one thing at a time, it feels like nothing. But if you wait, it feels like a mountain.
That is a great tip. Clean as you go. My strategy is the 10-minute timer. I tell myself, Anna, you only have to do the dishes for 10 minutes. When the timer beeps, you can stop. Usually, I can finish almost everything in 10 minutes. It's a way to trick my brain because 10 minutes doesn't feel scary.
That's clever. Another thing I do is listen to podcasts, like Anna's English channel. If I'm focused on a story or a conversation, I don't even notice that my hands are in the soapy water. Suddenly, the kitchen is clean and I've learned something new.
That is the best way to multitask. We should also talk about the dryer and the washer duo. If you live with someone, one person can wash and the other can dry and put the dishes away. It's a great time to talk about your day. Some of the best conversations I've had were while holding a dish towel.
You're right. There is something about doing a simple task with your hands that makes it easier to talk about deep things. You aren't staring at each other. You are both looking at the sink, working together. It's a very bonding experience.
Now, what about the little ones? If you have children, chores can be a point of conflict. How do we get kids to help without a big fight every Saturday morning?
I think gamification is the answer. Make it a game. My sister has 2 kids and she uses a chore chart with colorful stickers. If they pick up their toys, they get a gold star. 5 gold stars equals a trip to the park or an extra bedtime story.
I love stickers. I also think we should give kids choices. Instead of saying, clean your room, you can say, do you want to put the books away or the clothes away? It gives them a sense of agency, a feeling that they are in control.
That's a very smart psychological trick, Anna. I also remember my parents putting on really loud, fast music on Saturday mornings. We would dance while we were dusting the shelves. We called it the cleaning disco. It's hard to be grumpy when you are dancing to your favorite song.
Cleaning disco. I want to join that. And it's important to praise them. Don't look for perfection. If a child folds a towel and it looks a bit messy, don't refold it immediately. Just say, thank you for helping. You did a great job. They need to feel that their contribution is valuable.
Yes. If you always fix what they do, they will think, why should I try? Mom will just do it again anyway. Let them be imperfectly helpful. It builds their confidence for the future.
We live in a world of smart technology. We have robot vacuums, fancy dishwashers, and even machines that fold clothes. Leo, do you think these tools actually make our lives easier, or are they just more things to clean?
Well, I love my robot vacuum. I named him Barnaby. I turn him on when I leave the house, and when I come back, the floor is perfect. It saves me about 20 minutes a day. That's 20 minutes I can spend reading or calling my mom.
Barnaby, that's a cute name. I agree. Dishwashers are a lifesaver for families. But sometimes I think we rely on machines too much. There is something very grounding about doing a task by hand. Sometimes, if I've had a very stressful day at work, I actually prefer to wash a few plates by hand. The warm water and the repetitive movement help me decompress.
Decompress. That means to let out the pressure and relax. I understand that. It's a mindful activity. You are focused on the bubbles, the water, and the clean ceramic. You aren't thinking about emails or deadlines.
Exactly. However, I will say that some tools are just a waste of space. I once bought a special banana slicer. It took longer to clean the slicer than it took to just slice the banana with a knife.
Oh, I've seen those. It's a gadget trap. My advice to our listeners, keep your tools simple. A good vacuum, a few microfiber cloths, and a bottle of vinegar and water are all you really need to keep a house shining.
We are reaching the end of our talk about chores. Let's look at our top tips one more time. First, change your mindset. See chores as a way to care for your home and your mind. Second, clean as you go to avoid the mountain.
Third, communicate with the people you live with. Divide the work fairly so nobody feels resentment. Fourth, use music or podcasts to make the time go faster. And fifth, don't be a perfectionist, especially with kids.
Remember, a clean home is not the goal. A happy home is the goal. If you have a few crumbs on the floor, but you spent the afternoon laughing with your friends, that is a good trade-off. Don't let chores steal your joy.
Beautifully said, Anna. And for our listeners, every time you do a chore, try to name the actions in English. It turns your housework into a free English lesson.
I love that. Every moment is an opportunity to learn. And speaking of learning, let's go over our vocabulary for today.
Here are 5 important words from today's episode. Multitask. M-U-L-T-I-T-A-S-K. This means to do more than one thing at the same time. Example, I like to multitask by listening to English podcasts while I wash the dishes. Resentment. R-E-S-E-N-T-M-E-N-T. A feeling of anger because you think something is unfair. Example, sharing the housework helps prevent resentment between roommates. Mindset. M-I-N-D-S-E-T. Your attitude or the way you think about a situation. Example, if you have a positive mindset, even boring jobs can be fun. Trade-off. T-R-A-D-F-O-F. Giving up one thing to get another thing. Example, the trade-off for a clean house is spending an hour cleaning every Saturday. Agency. A-G-A-N-C-Y. The feeling that you have the power to make your own choices. Example, giving kids choices gives them a sense of agency over their chores.
Now, I want to hear from you. In your home, who does the dishes? Do you have a secret tip to make chores go faster? Please leave your answers in the comments. I love reading about your lives and your habits.
I'll be reading them too. Maybe I can find a new way to deal with my mountain of plates.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Anna's English channel. We are so happy to be part of your English journey. Remember to be kind to yourself and maybe go do one small chore after this. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Your support means the world to us. I'm Anna, and I'll see you in the next episode.